My name is Jennifer Williams. I live in San Francisco and work as a biochemist in the research and development department at a pharmaceutical company. Every day, I help create new medicines, and I feel proud of the work I do. It gives me a deep sense of purpose. On Sundays, I go to the First Presbyterian Church. Sometimes, I even volunteer to teach science to the children there. Life used to feel peaceful and satisfying. I had a quiet routine, a good job, and moments of joy with my niece and nephew. But everything changed one day, and I'll never forget it. My parents live in a wealthy neighborhood called Presidio Heights. My mother, Martha, used to be a teacher. She cares a lot about how people see her at church. She always wears the newest Chanel clothes and says things like, "Appearances are everything." Just recently, she was proudly showing off my sister's expensive handbag to everyone at church. My father, George, owns a real estate company. He earns more than $300,000 a year and has a very controlling attitude. He often says, "I'm the one with the money, so everyone should do what I say." That's how he controls the family, using money and power. My younger sister, Caroline, lives in a fancy old house in Pacific Heights. She tells everyone she's an influencer because she has 20,000 followers on Instagram. She spends most of her time taking selfies and trying on new outfits. Her husband, Stephen, works in IT and is always busy. Both of them are so caught up in their own lives, they barely have time for their kids, Michael, who is 8, and Emma, who is 6. Even when they're home, they're glued to their laptops. As for me, I live alone in a nice apartment in the Marina District. I'm not married, but I'm happy with my life. I earn a good salary at Genentech, and most of all, I truly enjoy spending time with Michael and Emma. Every weekend, we go to the Ferry Building Marketplace to buy fresh ingredients and bake apple pies together. Those little moments, laughing in the kitchen, flour on our faces, the smell of apples and cinnamon, make me feel truly alive. I help pay for their school by secretly sending $500 each month. I also help them with homework and use online tools like Khan Academy to make learning fun. My parents give Caroline $1,000 a month but give me nothing, and that's fine. I don't do it for the money. I do it because I love those children. I drive them to school, attend their sports days, help with projects, and I'm always there when they need me. Michael is a gentle, thoughtful boy who loves reading and science. He can spend hours at the California Academy of Sciences, staring at dinosaur bones and asking smart questions. Just the other day, he pointed at a display and said with shining eyes, "Aunt Jenny, this is a real Tyrannosaurus skeleton." I'll never forget how excited he looked. Emma is cheerful and full of energy. She loves ballet and always shows me her new dance moves. But her mom didn't even show up to her recital because she was too busy taking selfies. That day, Emma stood on stage, looking around for her mother, and when she realized Caroline wasn't there, her smile faded. That image has stayed with me, like a scar on my heart. Every year, we plan a family trip to Hawaii. We build sandcastles, visit the aquarium, and collect memories. These vacations are precious to me. A few days ago, Emma called and said in her sweet voice, "Aunt Jenny, you're coming too this year, right? I want to build sandcastles again." I smiled and said, "Of course, sweetheart." The morning of the trip finally came. It was Saturday at 9 a.m. I got to the airport 30 minutes early, waiting at a cafe near the Hawaiian Airlines check-in counter. The morning sun poured through the big windows. I was too excited to sleep the night before. I had been up since 4 o'clock, packing and repacking my luggage, making sure everything was perfect. Next to my suitcase was a gift bag. Inside were surprises for the kids, a telescope for Michael, he'd been dreaming about one, and new ballet shoes and a sparkly leotard for Emma. I couldn't wait to see their faces when I gave them the gifts. Michael had recently told me, "Aunt Jenny, Hawaii is great for stargazing because there's not much light pollution. You can see the Milky Way." His excitement was contagious. The airport was full of happy families. I smiled at a little girl in a pink dress just like Emma's. A father in a Hawaiian shirt walked by with his son on his shoulders. Everywhere I looked, I saw joy. The line at the counter grew, filled with people eager to start their vacations. 9:45. Still no sign of my family. I thought maybe Caroline had overslept. She does that a lot. I remembered how she was late to the school open day last month and had to apologize. I called my parents. No answer. I tried my sister's phone. Still nothing. I checked social media. That was odd. Caroline hadn't posted anything all morning, not even her usual breakfast photo. Her last post was from yesterday, a selfie with her new Gucci sunglasses. A strange feeling began to rise in my chest. I called again. Still no one picked up. I left voicemails, sent messages, nothing. I started to worry. Had something happened to them? My hands felt sweaty. I sipped some cold water and tried to calm myself. Outside, the planes were being checked by airport workers. Their steady movements felt comforting somehow. Now it was almost time to board. The waiting area was getting quiet as people moved toward their gates. I could hear the announcement. Hawaiian Airlines Flight 123 to Honolulu is now boarding. First-class passengers, please have your tickets ready. Right then, my phone buzzed. It was a message in the family group chat. When I opened it, I froze. There they were, my parents, Caroline, Stephen, Michael, and Emma, sitting by the pool at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. They were smiling, taking selfies. My father had on new sunglasses. My mother wore a white beach dress. Michael and Emma didn't look happy. They looked uncomfortable. The caption said, "Arrived in Hawaii with family. The start of the best time." My heart stopped. Then came a message from my mother. "This trip is for real family only. You wouldn't understand, but someone who isn't married and doesn't have kids can't know what family really means. Maybe it's time you stopped interfering with other people's children." My sister added, "Take care of our kids and dog while we're gone. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Check my Instagram for updates, and don't take any pictures of the kids, it could hurt my image." I stared at the screen in shock. The people I loved the most had gone on vacation without me, and left me behind like I was nothing. Not even a call, not even a message, just silence, and a post for the world to see, pretending everything was perfect. The comments below the post felt like knives. Such a beautiful family. So lucky. Living the dream. My father didn't say a word, but his silence spoke volumes. That's how he is. He lets others do the dirty work and quietly agrees by staying silent. That silence hurt more than any words. Around me, people were laughing, hugging, boarding their planes. It felt like they were in another world. I looked out the big windows and saw planes flying into the sky, one after another. I held back tears as I whispered in my heart, "Don't worry, Michael, Emma, I'm still here. This isn't about revenge anymore. This is about doing what's right, for your happiness, for your future. And I will not let you down." I started doing something quietly, without telling anyone. Whenever the children talked to me about their feelings, about being sad, lonely, or scared, I gently recorded their voices on my phone using the voice memo app. I didn't ask them to say anything. I just let the conversations happen naturally. They trusted me, and I simply listened. I also began taking pictures, not like the perfect, posed ones my sister always posted online. Mine were different. I captured moments when Michael was focused on building a science model, or Emma was smiling while spinning in the park. Real moments, honest ones, not fake smiles, not staged hugs, just them being themselves. I even started saving their school essays. One day, Emma wrote a piece called "My Family." In it, she wrote, "Aunt Jenny always listens to me. She comes to my ballet shows, even when mommy doesn't. I try hard because Aunt Jenny claps the loudest." Reading that broke my heart, but also gave me strength. I made sure to keep everything safe. I backed up the voice recordings, saved the photos in cloud storage, scanned all the essays, and locked the originals in a home safe. I didn't know what I was preparing for, but I knew I had to be ready. Then, just 3 days before their family was supposed to return from their vacation, Michael knocked on my bedroom door. His voice trembled. "Aunt Jenny, I want to tell you something. I've always wanted to say this. I wish you were my real mom." Tears filled my eyes, not because I was sad, but because I finally understood that this was no longer just about listening. It was time to stand up for them. Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m., San Francisco Airport. I held Michael's hand. Emma clung to my dress, nervously watching the arrival gate. The screen showed the flight had landed. Passengers began walking out. First came my mother, Martha. She wore a fancy Chanel dress and oversized sunglasses. Right behind her was my sister, Caroline, already pulling out her phone for selfies. My father, George, followed, dragging his suitcase in silence. And, of course, Caroline's husband, Stephen, was looking at his laptop, not watching where he walked. "Mommy's back," Caroline called out with a big smile, opening her arms wide. "Come here, kids." But Michael and Emma didn't move. They stayed behind me. What's wrong? Mother asked in her sugary voice. It's Mommy, aren't you happy? The children clung even tighter to me. I don't want to go back, Emma whispered. We want to live with Aunt Jenny, Michael said clearly, without fear. Their words hit like a thunderclap. My mother's smile froze. My father frowned. Caroline lowered her phone. Confused, people around us slowed down, sensing the tension. Caroline tried to laugh it off. What are you talking about? We're your real family. I looked straight at her and said quietly but firmly, then let's talk about what a real family is. I pulled out my phone and pressed play. Emma's small, tearful voice came first. Mom, why didn't you come to my ballet recital? Everyone else's mom was there. Then Michael, Dad, I got an award in science. I wanted you to come see me get it. I showed the photos next, side by side, my sister's bright, flashy Instagram pictures next to the quiet, honest ones I took. The difference was obvious. The smiles in her photos looked forced, empty, but mine, they were real. This is the truth, I said, not the picture-perfect story you show the world. My mother tried to speak, but by then, people had pulled out their phones. Airport staff were watching us. Whispers were starting. Please be quiet, this is a private matter, my mother snapped. Yes, a family matter, I replied calmly, and that's why the children's voices should finally be heard. One by one, I played more recordings. Aunt Jenny listens to me, she helps me with my science homework. Mom's always on her phone. Dad never has time. The air was heavy with silence. My father's face turned pale. Caroline's hands trembled. Stephen looked up from his laptop, finally paying attention. That's not true. We're a perfect family, Caroline shouted. Her voice shook. Michael took a step forward. Then why don't you know my favorite food, or Emma's shoe size? Emma added softly. Aunt Jenny knows. She knows I hate carrots. She knows my favorite fairy tales. My father finally spoke. Let's talk somewhere else. This isn't the place. No, it's the perfect place, I said. You made everything about appearances, on Instagram, at church, everywhere. Maybe it's time people saw the truth. My mother's face changed. People were still watching, some recording, church friends, strangers, they were all there. Please, stop, she whispered. No, Mom, I won't, not anymore, not for me, not for them. Michael and Emma held my hands tightly. I felt their little fingers wrap around mine, warm and steady. I knew I was doing the right thing. I want partial custody, I said clearly, weekend custody, a say in their education, an authority over their finances. You can't do that, Caroline screamed. Yes, I can. I held up a folder full of documents. These essays have been reviewed by the school counselor. Their teacher's notes are included. Silence. Emma looked up and said in a soft voice, we want to live with Aunt Jenny, but we love you too, so can't we all be a real family, together? Her words melted something. My father's face softened. Tears rolled down my mother's cheeks. Caroline nearly collapsed. Stephen caught her in his arms. Everyone had stopped recording. They were just watching, feeling. 1 year later. It's been a year since that day. Today, after Sunday church service, we stood in the courtyard under the soft autumn sun. Emma twirled in her new leotard, excited for her ballet recital. Grandma, do you like it? Aunt Jenny helped me pick it out. My mother smiled through her glasses. It's beautiful, sweetie. I promise I'll be there. You promise? I'll never break an important promise again, she said, voice trembling a little. Things have changed, really changed. My parents go to therapy now. My mother stopped caring about social media likes and started caring about bedtime stories. My father listens more and lectures less. Even Caroline is different. Her Instagram isn't full of fake smiles anymore. She posts less, but spends more time baking cookies and going to the park with the kids. Stephen made time too, adjusting his schedule to be more present. Look, Michael ran up to us, waving a test paper. I got 100 in science. I used Aunt Jenny's study method. That's amazing, Father said, proud. Let's celebrate. We can go to the Science Museum this weekend. The kids now live with Caroline on weekdays and with me on weekends. We make decisions together. School fees and tutoring costs are shared fairly, and we hold family meetings every last Sunday of the month. We talk, we listen, we ask the kids what they think. At one meeting, Father asked, Where should we go for our next family trip? Michael said, Hawaii, and the air went still. Caroline laughed softly. Don't worry, no selfies, no fake smiles, just real memories. I want to visit the volcanoes, Michael said. I want to see the ballet school in Hawaii, Emma added. Wonderful ideas, Mother said. This time, I'll leave my phone in my bag. I smiled quietly to myself. The change was real. The airport scene had gone viral. For a while, Caroline lost most of her followers. My mother avoided church events, but that moment forced us all to face the truth. We tore off the fake smiles, and underneath, we found something real. That day, after church, we all stood on the steps for a photo. This time, no one posed. Emma squeezed my hand. Michael sat happily on Father's lap. My mother and Caroline stood close, smiling gently. Stephen kept his phone in his pocket and looked lovingly at his family. The shutter clicked. The blue sky, the green trees, and a family, imperfect, but full of love. Aunt Jenny, Emma looked up at me. We're really happy now, aren't we? I stroked her hair and smiled. Yes, sweetheart, we've all found happiness, together. And as the wind carried the scent of blooming roses from the church garden, I knew, this was our new beginning.